It's the weekend and you have financial questions that need answering. That can only mean one thing. It's time for Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. This is the program that attempts to take the mystery out of your financial life. I am your host, Jill Schlesinger. I'm also a certified financial planner, which means I love hearing all the things going on in your life that could ultimately impact your finances. And so if you've got a question, something bubbled up over your summer break, maybe the kids are back at school and now you have some time to think about yourself, well, why don't you get in touch with us? All you need to do is go to our website, jillonmoney.com. And in the upper right-hand corner, there is a Contact Us button. Click that button, write us a note, and then, of course, let us know if you would like to join us on the air live by checking the box. Then Mark will do everything else. While you're on the website, a few things of note. You should sign up for our free weekly newsletter. Mark does such a good job compiling all the important stories every week. That comes out every Friday. I like to think of it as a nice tune-up for your weekend with us. Also on the website, you'll see that we've got two other programs. They're podcasts. One is called Jill on Money. We put that out Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. And the other podcast is called Money Watch. Money Watch comes out on the weekends. And these are shorter shows than this radio program. We try to concentrate on a person's issue at the hand, but we also try to delve into issues a little bit deeper, especially on our weekend show. You can subscribe to those podcasts from our website or wherever you get your podcast. Right now, let's talk to Jessica, who joins us from North Dakota. Hi, Jessica. What's going on? How can we help you out?
Hi, Jill. Well, thank you for taking my call. Excited to talk to you here. I just really kind of want to know if I can retire. My husband did recently retire, and we are just weighing our options here. I am willing to hold on, but I would sure hope I don't have to. So that's kind of where we're at.
Okay. How old is your husband?
He is 59 and a half.
Oh, I love the half. So good. And how old are you, Jessica?
58.
Okay. Does he receive income from a pension because he has retired, or is he just counting on you to float him for a little bit here?
No, he was in a unique position about, I guess it was a year and a half ago now, where a lot of changes with his company. And so kind of some looming layoffs happening, and he was given the opportunity to take a severance.
Oh.
So he took the severance, and that for us will be done as of October 1st, I believe.
So October 1st of this year of 2025. Yes. Okay,
yes.
Got it. By the way, I'm talking to you on August 7th when CBS is supposed to complete the sale of the company, Paramount Global, to another entity. And I have a feeling I'm going to field about 1 million questions from people just like you and your husband about severance and when it ends and all of those things. So I will now turn around and use you as practice for all the conversations I'm going to have at work. Now, you receive your medical and health care through your position, through your workplace?
That's correct.
Okay. And how much do you earn right now, Jessica?
I actually reduced my income quite a bit in the last year because I took a different position within my company thinking it would be less stressful. But in reality, it has not been. And then the other factor for me is back in the spring, it was announced that work from home option is no longer. So I have been working from home for about 5 years, and really that's made it somewhat tolerable. But to think that I now would have, almost an hour commute starting in January. No.
We got to figure this out. Okay. So how much do you earn now?
So now I'm down at 125.
Okay. Do you guys have kids?
We do. We have twin boys.
And how old are they?
23.
And they're on their own, okay?
Well, one, they both just graduated from the university. One got a job from his internship. They offered him a position, so we consider fully launched. He has the health benefits. He's good to go. The other one is graduated, as I mentioned, but going on to graduate school.
Mm.
And we have covered their undergraduate tuitions and housing and everything, but we
Yep.
kind of feel that this would be up to him in doing loans or what it takes. However, I guess he probably will be going to a bigger city with higher cost of living. So one of the things that my husband and I have talked about is having about 25,000 earmarked for him just to help him with cost of living, rent, that kind of thing for the next 2 years.
25 per year or
No.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So $1,000 a month for 2 years.
Yeah, if possible, if we can do
Okay.
that.
What have you guys saved based on these multiple decades of work?
So yes, we have in cash 100,000.
Okay.
We have in a brokerage account 135.
Invested in just stuff, like anything in
Yes.
particular?
No, stocks. Yeah.
Individual stocks or exchange traded funds or mutual funds?
I think individual, but I think I'm not 100%. That would be probably more
Okay.
detail that my husband would be aware of than I am.
Okay. I'll be in touch with him shortly. Okay. What else?
We have Roth, 140,000.
Okay.
We were not really eligible for that for many years, so until the 401k option came in. So now I'm kind of looking at this as I was preparing, realizing we don't have a lot in Roth.
Okay. It's okay.
We have an IRA for 2.1 million.
Okay. That's a huge number. Is that the rollover of his old plan?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. So he's got
A combination of both of ours.
okay. Gotcha. What else?
401k currently at 140,000.
Everything's 140. It's amazing. Okay. And that 401k, that's the traditional or is that a Roth?
I think it's Roth. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Keep going.
We have another brokerage account with 60,000 in it.
Okay.
And then another brokerage account with 971,000.
Oh my God, you saved the best for last. Oh, did I mention my $1 million in the other brokerage account? Okay. All right. That's big money, baby. Okay.
Now, my husband did lose his father about 2 years ago. And so he has an inherited Roth valued at 24,000 that I know we do need to use within 10 years.
But you don't have to pay tax on it because
Right.
it's a Roth. Got it.
Right.
Okay.
And then he also has another inherited IRA that is at the 192,000.
Okay. Same thing. We got 8 more years to get that out.
Yeah. And then he has an annuity. And I don't know a lot about this. I just have a note next to this that he took a 5-year withdrawal option. So
This is his dad's annuity, in other words? Okay,
yeah, he split
gotcha.
it with his sister. So
Okay, I understand. And so 3 more years on that?
yes, I believe that would be 3 years. His father
And do you know how
passed.
much he's getting each year?
I just know the total value,
Which is?
55,000.
All right, this is great. You got a bunch of money. Good saving. Rock and roll, Jessica and husband. Okay. We'll get back to Jessica in just a minute. If you have a financial question, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. The Jill on Money Show will be right back.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's the Jill on Money Show. We are here trying to help you take the mystery out of your financial life. We do that by encouraging you to do a tiny bit of work. That includes going to our website, JillOnMoney.com, and clicking the Contact Us button, writing us a note, and letting us know if you would like to join us on the air live. While you're on the website, don't forget we've got a lot of different information there. Some of it is free, some of it costs a few bucks. Just bookmark the JillOnMoney.com website because Mark is refreshing the content constantly. So do check it out. Right now, let's get back to Jessica, who's on the line from North Dakota. Any other assets? Any rental income, rental homes, anything
No,
like that? Okay.
no.
How about your primary residence?
Yes, we do. We have only 50,000 left on the mortgage, toying with the idea of paying that off, but
What's the interest rate?
3.05.
No. Okay, let's continue. What's the house worth?
650,000.
And you want to stay there?
For now, yes.
Till your twins move to far reaches of the universe and you have to move near them because you want to be a granny. Okay, so that's it. We got the assets, right?
Yes.
The most important question: are you ready for it? Can you get ready for it?
Yes.
What do you guys spend? Forgetting about, don't tell me about the 25,000 for the kid for a second. Just like, what do you spend? Not the bare bones. What do you need to continue living the life that you want to live?
Yeah, I've done a lot of drilling down on the monthly expenses in the last year. And so kind of realizing, wow, higher than I really anticipated.
I hate when that happens, right?
Yeah, we're at about 14,000 a month.
Okay. You mentioned that your husband's parent just passed away. Do you have parents that are still alive?
Yes.
And how are they? Do you think you'd have to
Good.
take care of them? Okay.
No.
So your parents are alive. Is there, do you think that you might inherit money in your future?
No, I don't.
But they're okay. You're not going to have to help them out.
No, I think they're good. My sister and I do have a handle on their finances, and they'll have enough.
Okay.
I will say that, when you asked about moving or anything, we do plan to keep our home. But we do live in North Dakota, so it is cold.
I've heard that.
We do. We would like, if this is possible, to have an additional maybe $15,000 a year earmarked for travel. And so our thought is that we would take a few big trips.
Yeah.
And or we have a lot of family in the South. We would like to rent a condo, possibly maybe 2 months out of the year or 3 months out of the year. So just knowing that is there is something that...
Wouldn't it be more than $15,000 a year to do that for a couple, 3 months?
Possibly. I mean, I guess I don't know.
I mean, you could be grifters, which I fully endorse, like mooching off of your family and staying with them. But I mean, I think that if you want to do that, that you should get a sense of really what it would cost to rent. That seems very low to me. I don't know where they live. Maybe it's in a very cheap area, but that seems like a low amount of money to have for rental for a couple months.
Oh, did I say 1,500?
You said 15,000 a year.
Oh, yes. Okay. That's what we were kind of thinking. But okay. Yeah, we
cheap.
can do more research on that.
Yeah, do some work on that. All right.
Oh, and then one additional thing that we were thinking to have earmarked is we would like to possibly gift our two boys total $100,000 in the next 5 years, so $50,000 each, and that would be for either a wedding or a down payment on a home. It would be their choice, but we just thought that would kind of...
Don't you mean 25 for your graduate school son, since you already will have gifted him 25 for that year? Are you going to make it even, Steven, or not really?
I guess we have to be fair.
I mean, you don't have to be. I'm happy to have it. I won't tell if you don't tell.
Okay.
No one has to know this. Okay, I got it. All right. So you have to work. You're going to work through this year.
Correct.
And by the end of this year, will you be 59?
Almost.
Or are you turning 59 next year? So you'll be 59 and a half next year.
Yes.
So you've got all of this traditional money, this $2 million, which we can tap, right? Maybe not this second, because it seems to me that we know that you have to get this money. If you were to stop working, then I need to give you 15 grand a month, because I'm adding in that extra $1,000 for your kid or for something, just for the travel, blah, blah, blah. So it's 15 grand a month, right? Mark, how do you think this looks for the traditional IRA being able to support $15,000 a month, we have no pensions. We'll have Social Security. What's your full retirement age Social Security benefit?
Full age being 67, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Both of ours are very similar at 3,500.
So $7,000 will be from that. Okay. And you guys are both in good health?
Yes, my husband does have some health issues in his family. He is healthy, but there has been some disease in his family.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we need $180,000 a year. Okay. And, you have money, and I'm really just kind of first looking at the big $2.1 million, and you have this $1 million. So, you have the 2.1 isn't all yours, right? You own Uncle Sam owns a piece of it, right?
Right.
So, you have, let's say, $2.5 million once we get paid done. With your $1 million in your brokerage, it's really like one. It's really like 1.2 that's already been taxed in the brokerage account. And then it's the 140 in the Roth, actually 280, because one's the Roth IRA, one's the Roth 401k. And then we've got a bunch, another couple 100,000, 250 in the retirement assets from your in-law. So, Mark, how do you think these numbers line up so that we can give Jessica some reprieve? Do you think that this is possible, or what do you think?
Well, I can tell you that we're going to get feedback. Well, $3.5 million. Of course, she can retire. They can do whatever they want. They're just looking for a pat on the back. But I got to say, given how much they spend per month, $3.5 million, it's not a slam dunk. It's probably doable. They just got to get to Social Security, but it's not a slam dunk. It's more like it's like a 3-point shot.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, let me ask you a different question, Jessica. Would you or your husband be willing to do some part-time work, maybe for the few years now, like in between this moment and say age 65? I mean, one thing is, we'll need health insurance for you. So it would be wonderful if you guys could figure out how to cobble together enough income at an employer to get health insurance. And the other is that it would be nice not to have to eat into all these assets. So would you be willing to work?
No.
So, okay.
Well, then I'm going to spend down.
So I'm going to be dream maker and crusher at the same time. Okay. Here's what I would tell you. If I were you, I would not retire. I would not retire.
Okay.
I would keep taking that money for another couple of years. I'd see how things go. I tell your son who's going to grad school, we can give you this money for grad school as a loan. And when you're done, we need to be repaid, because you cannot gift to them. You cannot gift to them.
Okay.
Absolutely cannot. Okay. How much were you making how much was your husband making also?
Well, combined, we were about 350, 380.
That's why you spend so much.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, which is not like, if you're spending $14,000 a month and you're making $350,000, fine. Right. You have a choice here. If you told me, Jill, I could take that $14,000, I could take a hatchet to it, and I can make it $9,000, $10,000 a month. We won't travel as much in the first few years. We'll figure it out, but we're going to go down to $10,000 a month, hardcore. Then the numbers look better. $14,000, $15,000 a month is a lot. We'll get back to Jessica in just a minute. If you've got a financial question, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, where we are trying to help you figure out what's next on your financial journey. And I want to underscore the your part of this, because each person who writes in or comes on the air with us has something different that you are seeking to accomplish. Sometimes it seems like a very minor issue, to you at least, but that might bring up other issues in your life. Maybe you're thinking about buying a home or selling a home, or it's retirement, or it's planning for college for your kids, for your grandkids. Maybe you figured out that you don't like what you're doing. Maybe you just want different options for what lies ahead. Whatever is your issue becomes our issue. We just want to help you figure out different ways to get where you'd like to go. Because this is dependent on whatever's going on in your life, we need to hear from you. So if you've got a question, just go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and write us a note. Right now, let's conclude our conversation with Jessica from North Dakota. Mark's right. I think you've got a lot of money. It's great, but you spend a lot. And so something has to give to make this plan, give yourself a little padding. So the choices are, if you want to really retire at the end of this year because you're spent, you have a nice long sit down with your hubby and you say, I think we can make these numbers work, but we're going to have to spend less money. It cannot be, we can't spend like we're making $350 a year. We just can't. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's one choice. Mm-hmm. Second choice is you're like, you say to your boss, I love you. If there's no way that I can, if work from home, I'm going to have to think about doing something else. Really. Mm-hmm. That's like, it's impossible. Right. Mm-hmm. Or you can suck it up and just keep doing it and like have your horrible hour commute. That seems like the worst idea to me. Or you can basically say to your husband, like, if we want to keep spending at this level, then one of us has to be working part-time at least for another 3 to 5 years so we don't blow through this chunk of money. I could easily see you blowing through $2 million in the next 10 years at a $14,000 a month spend. It's $180,000 a year, so we can do the math. Mm-hmm. And you cannot be invested as aggressively if you know you have to live on the money. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's the situation that you find yourself in. Could you, is there another job out there where even if you made, honestly, if you said, I got a work from home opportunity, I can make $80,000 a year, I'll get health insurance, I can bang that out for a couple of years, even that would be preferable to just stopping and eating through all these assets.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, this was in the back of our minds as well. So, and I think expenses could be looked at as well because we really haven't, cut much back.
Right. Why would you cut back if you're used to making $350,000 a year? You wouldn't. Right. And so, if I wanted to safely produce $180,000 a year, I would really be looking at more like 5 million, Mark. Is that about right? 3.5? Yeah.
5 to 6. Yeah.
5. I'd want 5 saved up. So if all of a sudden, a year from now, you're like, I sucked it up for another year. Now my million is worth $1.5 million and my traditional. So you're getting closer. But every year you can prevent yourself from invading that chunk of money is a year that will look better for the game plan. It's just hard. You got a lot of years left, girl. 58 years old, you could live for 40 years.
Right.
And I don't want you to make the decision today and run out of money in 30 years. That's what I don't want.
Do you think if we were closer to the 160 a year, this would be a bit different?
I mean, in terms of expenses, yeah, it would help. But 160 is a big nut. The other thing that you could consider, which may be nutty to even think about this, but you might consider, well, maybe what we would do is we like our house, but maybe we don't like it that much. Maybe we would rent in North Dakota, rent in the South, and have $400,000, $500,000 extra in our brokerage account from the sale of the home. Now you would increase your expenses a little bit, but you wouldn't be maintaining a home either.
Right.
So all of these things are possibilities. Have you guys ever thought about working with an advisor, with a certified financial planner or somebody who can help craft this?
Yeah, we do have a woman that we do work with.
What did she say? She said, you can do it or you can't.
We could do it. We're a little on the fence, but we could do it.
Yeah. I'm very conservative, so I'm going to tell you that right now. But Mark is usually less conservative than I. I think having him say it's a 3-point shot, not a layup, that's a great way to think about it, especially if you like sports. If you don't like sports, then this may have just not been helpful at all.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good advice.
All right.
But a lot of it's, within their control. If, like you said, if they could take a hatchet to that monthly spend and really figure out where the money's going, the odds might improve.
Exactly. It might be like, you know what? I don't like eating. I might not need. First of all, you know what happens when you're really miserable at work? You start doing stuff that's like, I know it's a joke, but it's like true. It's retail therapy. You spend money on things. You're like, I'm eating out all the time because I can't deal with having to cook a meal because I'm working so hard. Or I need a really expensive vacation because I am so miserable at work. So all of these things argue for me is just a way to say some of this is in your control. Some like, and when I say like, oh, you're not going to gift to your kids, like you don't have to give 50 grand to your kids in the next 5 years. Is anyone engaged yet?
No.
Okay, let's put that on the back burner. Don't even put that on there. Like, don't put that on yourself. For grad school, I think you can have a really honest conversation with your son and say, we would love to help you with grad school. And depending on what, where you're going to go and what you're going to do, we'd like to toss you, $1,000 a month for the next 2 years, but we're not signing up for that automatically. That's what we're hopeful that we could do. But this is also, if you stop working, I wouldn't want you to do that. If you want to work for your kid again, by the way, because you've obviously been doing that for 23 years, then that's your choice. But if that's if that's also out there, then, you keep working. And between the two of you, I think you can do this. But I don't want you to think it's like no biggie. It's a biggie, and I'm glad you got in touch with us and didn't just do it.
Yeah.
But, if it's 3 years from now, I think there's a lot, we have a lot more flexibility. That's my best guess for you. You're listening to the Jill on Money Show, and we will be right back.
Welcome back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger takes the mystery out of your finances.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, where we are trying to help you figure out what lies ahead for you on that financial journey, what options you have. If you've got something that's bubbling up, just give us a holler. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us a note, and if you'd like to join us live, just check the little box. Mark will arrange to do everything else. While you're on the website, check out our subscription service. It's called Jill on Money Live. That's where you have access to quarterly live webinars, the back catalog of those webinars, bonus audio and video content, all for $45 for the next 12 months. Okay, right now, let's get to an email. This is from Jane. I love this subject. Husband doesn't want to spend, afraid to spend. My husband has been retired for 5 years. He has $1 million in retirement. I will still be working for another 12 years. There's a 9-year age difference between the two of us. We have a 15-year-old son in high school, and we have college funds for him already for college. Well, that's good. I have $700,000 in retirement. I continue to save. We've got our emergency fund 6 to 12 months, no debt. Everything is paid off, house, car, pay off our credit card bills each month. My husband still worries. He's afraid to spend money. What can I tell him to relax and make him feel like things are fine and we can afford to spend money? Things like a family trip, an upgrade to the house. Am I missing something? Am I being naive? He makes me feel foolish to say we are fine. Well, I don't like that he makes you feel foolish. Jane, what I would think about is to do this. I would look at your current spending, okay? And if you can completely cover it with your salary, and you are planning to work for another 12 years, then I think you can show him mathematically that he can spend some of his money. And so I don't know how old everybody is, but my feeling is that this is a very common refrain that we hear from people who have been working their whole lives and saving. It is hard to figure out how to spend. So one of the little workarounds that I think is interesting is to look at that retirement account. And because we know he's going to have to take a required minimum distribution, maybe we just have encourage him to take some money out every quarter so that you have that money coming in and that you should spend that money and enjoy it. But without knowing how much your expenses are, and it doesn't sound like they're very high, it doesn't sound like there's a problem. What it probably sounds more like is that he just needs to be shown mathematically how it could work. And then we need to come up with a system that will allow it to work for you guys. So I hope that helps. Do get back in touch with us. You're not foolish. This is, again, very common. Grace writes, how do cash balance plans differ from regular pension plans? Hi, Jill. Happily, I just recently learned that my firm offers a cash balance plan and I'm eligible. I'd like your guidance on a few topics. Can you explain in a simple, non-jargon way how the cash balance plan differs from a regular pension plan? Okay. It is what it sounds like. There's a bunch of money that builds up in cash. And then when you retire, you get this money and it's usually comes in the form of a lump sum that you could roll over. So think of it as an extra chunk of money. Now, Mark, I think in most cash balance plans, there is a way that you can annuitize that. Often what happens with cash balance plans is they'll say, do you want a lump sum? Or we can buy an annuity to have you churn out some cash from that every month. But the difference with a regular pension plan is the money is coming into a plan and it is a defined benefit that the company is on the hook for automatically. And they have to be able to push out that pension amount every single month based on the way that you choose to receive it. And the question about can you view the cash balance plan as my pension, you can view it as another retirement asset. Now, she just wrote, I see I didn't read far enough down on the email. Based on the firm calculator, I am expected to receive $3,000 a month at the age of 65 or a lump sum. Would you recommend taking a monthly benefit or a lump sum? What's the better deal? Totally depends on what's going on for you. Okay. So I need to know more information. All of these decisions about whether to receive a lump sum or a monthly payment have a lot to do with what else you have saved and what else is going on in your financial life. She said that my cash balance plan is defined as an account balance. If I elect life-only annuity, I can expect $3,000 to pay out for life until my death. This sounds amazing. And I want to confirm my understanding is correct. Your understanding is correct, but there's a big downside because if you choose life-only annuity, if you drop dead the next day after you choose that, no one gets the money. So there should be other options for that cash balance, which you may want to explore. I don't know what else is going on. Did I miss anything here, Mark, on the cash balance versus regular pension?
No, I think that's it. I mean, just kind of think of it, it's going to look similar to a 401k plan. There's going to be a balance there that you can go in and look at it and you're going to see contributions and you'll see it growing and growing and growing. But eventually, that'll be turned into a monthly payment.
If you want. Or you can roll it over directly into an IRA rollover at retirement. But get back in touch with us, Grace. I'd love to have you come on and we find out what else is going on. By the way, she writes, thank you so much for your guidance. I'm a super fan and tune in regularly. Wait a minute. If you're a super fan, it has to be that you tune in every single day because otherwise you're not a super fan, right, Mark?
And you got to come on.
Got to come on for sure. If you have a financial question, just go to jillonmoney.com and click the Contact Us button. Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, where we are answering your financial questions. If you have one, if something's going on in your life and you need a little bit of a extra set of eyes and ears on the situation, just go to our website. That's JillOnMoney.com. Let's finish the hour with an email from Harold, who writes, why do all of the pundits insist that 70 is the best option when receiving Social Security retirement benefits? When I run the numbers, it looks like I'll be 86 years old before I break even. I'm assuming the money that I receive early allows the equivalent amount to continue to be invested and grows at around 6.5% a year. What's wrong with my math? Or if it's correct, why do all the pundits insist waiting until 70 is the best option? Well, Harold, this is a very common question that we receive. So the first thing to remember is that there are three major ages when it comes to Social Security. 62, that is the earliest you are allowed to claim Social Security retirement benefits. And then the next age is 67. For anyone born after 1960, that's considered your full retirement age. And age 70, that's where your benefits max out. When you claim before your full retirement age, you are taking a permanent reduction in the amount you will receive throughout your life. And if you have a spouse who's relying on your record for claiming, it would mean your spouse would also take a permanent reduction. That's why we kind of throw out the 62 option unless you have very bad health or unless there's no choice and you really need the money. Waiting until your full retirement age means that the benefit will be bigger, and waiting until that extra few years passes to age 70 means that you are actually able to collect an extra 8% annually until that age 70 in terms of the benefit. I think the issue when you're running the numbers is you are comparing a guaranteed 8% with a risk of trying to earn that much money with your investments. And of course, the other aspect of Social Security that's so great, it's inflation adjusted. That's why waiting really can pay off. I hope that helps. You're listening to the Jill on Money Show. More ahead. Stay tuned.
It's the weekend, and that can only mean one thing. You're listening to Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show. We are trying to help you make better, sometimes just less bad financial decisions. So if you have something that is percolating, just go to our website, JillOnMoney.com. Click the Contact Us button. Write us a note. And after you write us that note, there's a little box that will pop up that will say, do you want to come on the air live? If you do, check that box. Mark will do everything else. Right now, let's get this hour started with Jeff from Minnesota.
I've met with my third financial advisor. The first two, I didn't really care for what they had to say.
Third time's a charm, babe.
Well, I don't know.
All right, let's see.
I didn't get anything in writing. I just went through a Zoom call, and he did everything on his computer and showed me from there. So basically, he did go through breaking down income, assets, taxes, and spending.
Okay, so that's a good start.
Well, he wants me to pretty much divide my IRA, my traditional IRA, which I have about $550,000 in that account.
Okay.
He wants me to split it between an ETF, which he unnamed, and a fixed index annuity. It's unnamed. And I always thought that fiduciary shouldn't recommend products that they get a commission on.
Well, not necessarily. But we're going to get to that in a second. First of all, can you give us a little background? Who are you, Jeff? How old are you? You still working? What's happening?
I am 69. I retired from a part-time courier position at FedEx Express at the end of January of 2025.
Okay.
So I just started collecting Social Security, and I just went on Medicare.
Okay. Social Security, how much do you collect?
What is it, like $2,400?
Okay, $2,400 a month. And you're on Medicare, which is good. And are you married, single, partnered? What's going on?
I'm not partnered right now.
Oh, well, let's see. Let's try to make a change in that department if you want to by the end of this call. I'm just kidding. Come on. All right. So Social Security is the only income that you receive, or do you receive a pension?
I received a pension from FedEx. I took the lump sum because I thought that was the better way to go.
Yes.
So after taxes, there's $10,000 in that pension, which isn't bad for only being a 7-year part-time employee.
Huh. Okay.
So that's sitting in my checking account, and I'm looking which way I should go with investing that right now.
Okay.
And I get a $211 pension from a previous employer back when I was in high school and college from the United Food and Commercial Workers Union in Wisconsin.
Wow. So you've got $2,600 a month in income between Social Security and that smaller pension, right?
Right. Plus I get dividend income from my stocks.
Wait, before you do that, I just want to know one quick thing.
Okay.
Can you support yourself on that $2,600 a month?
Pretty close.
Okay. So it's close to covering, we'll just say. I know you have other money. I just wanted to understand, like, if that gets you most of the way there. Okay, so you have the $10,000 in the checking account. You got the traditional IRA of $550. You have other brokerage assets. Is that what you're telling me? Because I just heard you mention dividends and income.
Right. I own 4 stocks.
That's it? Just 4?
Right.
And what's the total value of those 4 stocks?
Well, before the last 8 days, it was about $1,250,000.
You don't sell any of these stocks.
Correct.
You simply use the dividend that is spun out from those 4 stocks, and you use that to live on, or do you use that for fun stuff, or is it building up somewhere else? Like, in addition to the $10,000 from the lump sum FedEx payout, is there other money that's in the bank?
Yeah, I have a checking account with about $60,000 in there.
Okay. What was the 4 stocks? Did you inherit these? Is this just like, hey, I wanted to buy some dividend producing stocks, so I went and looked for it? Like, how did you come about having $1 million+ in these 4 stocks?
I was gifted Philip Morris stock from my mother. My father was an employee of Miller Brewing Company when Philip Morris owned Miller Brewing Company, and then they've split off into these other 4 companies. Philip Morris split into 2 companies, and then they spun off Kraft into Mondelez, and then Kraft merged with Heinz.
Okay, I got it. So there are these 4 stocks, but it really came from this one gift. And how long ago did your mom gift that? A while? So you have your cost basis must be very small. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, have you ever tried to figure it out? Is it, of the million?
I had an accountant figure it out, but I question that he did it correctly. And I did sell stocks to pay for my townhome 3 years ago. So I paid cash for that. I have no debt whatsoever.
How much is the townhome worth?
At least $400.
You
I also have
are
a Roth
comfortable
account too.
You have a Roth? How much is in the Roth?
$170,000.
And you got no kids?
1.
Is the kid on his or her own, like, okay? Or where does the kid stand in the life cycle?
Pretty much on his own. He's currently a flight instructor at University of North Dakota. He does have a job waiting for him when he makes his 1,000 hours of flight training at Delta.
Oh, amazing. Then you can travel for free.
Yeah.
On Delta. That's awesome. All right. So there's nothing. So, if you think about it, like biggest picture, right? You got some income. It mostly covers your need. These 4 stocks are spinning off. How much a year would you guess in dividend income?
About 60.
60 grand. So, between the $2,600 a month that comes in from the Social Security and the pension, there's another $5 grand a month. I'm sure that's not net, but let's just call it $5 grand a month gross. So you got a lot of money coming in. Have you ever figured out what your real expenses are?
I put everything on a credit card and pay it at the end of the month. It's usually around $2 grand, a little more sometimes.
So that's it. It's
I
$2
did
grand.
some home improvements, so I have been spending a little bit more money.
But that's the 60 grand in the bank is because the dividends did you use, when you first were gifted the stock, did you reinvest the dividends?
Right. And
Aha.
2 years ago, I started to just take it out, pretty much all of it now.
Okay. So here's my big question to you. So, I mean, it's really you and you've got the son. You don't have anyone else you have to take care of, right?
Correct.
Okay. And your son is on his way. Do you feel comfortable, like the money that's in the traditional IRA? What would you think of doing with that money or the Roth? Like how are those two big chunks of money invested right now?
The traditional IRA is at Vanguard, and I forgot to write down the percentages before the call.
That's okay.
I'm in the total stock fund, the total bond fund, and the total international fund.
Okay, well, that sounds like a very easy, actually good allocation without messing around too much. Have you been happy with the performance of the traditional IRA?
Basically, yes.
We'll get back to Jeff in just a minute. If you have a financial question, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. We'll be right back.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's Jill on Money, where we are trying to wade through whatever financial issues are in your pathway. And you know what? It is not always a critical, important issue. Sometimes it feels like a small thing, but without getting past it, you are stuck. So let us help you get unstuck. Just go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and write us a note. Right now, let's get back to Jeff from Minnesota. Dare I ask why you need a financial advisor? Because you just thought you should?
I thought everybody should pretty much talk to a financial advisor.
Maybe not. I mean, you've talked to 3, so I think you've covered it.
Well, my biggest concern is taxes and the possibility of Irma kicking in.
Well, don't worry about Irma. Come on now. Stop that. I'm going to just chide you for a little bit. Okay, so everybody, let's think about this. Jeff is 69. The reason why he's talking about this other woman named Irma, not Jill. Thank God it's not a Jill. It's because when you go onto Medicare, there is an actual extra fee that you may have to pay if you earn a bunch of income. This is referred to Irma. It is called Irma because it stands for Income Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. Based on the amount of money that you have earned, that you have coming in, because it doesn't have to be earned income, your modified adjusted gross income. Based on that, you may be subject to these extra charges for Medicare Parts B and D. Okay, so let me give you an example. We have our friend Jeff here. Jeff, you have, let's say your total income looks to me in that first Irma tier. If you're single, it's $106,000 to $133,000. Is that about right, you think, for your modified adjusted gross income?
Yes, I think it might be on the lower end right now, but it's going to go up once I have to start doing the RMDs.
Right. So we're going to talk about that in 1 second. Okay. So if this first tier of extra charge is $87.70 a month, which here in New York, I would say that's like borscht. It's like not a big deal. Don't worry about that. Even if you went up to the next level, which is $220 a month, I mean, you've got plenty of money. It's fine. I wouldn't do a lot of like crazy, weird shenanigans to manage this. I think your biggest issue that I see right now is that as you said, you've got this traditional IRA. It's worth over $500,000. That is certainly going to cause some problems. So the question I have now is, what amount of money would we have to pull out of that traditional IRA to kind of manage Irma, but also get the money out of that traditional IRA so that you don't have at age 75 the ticking tax bomb, right? I think that that's where you are, sort of somewhere in between that scenario. So I put the primacy on the required minimum distribution because I think that these dollar amounts those are the ones that are going to impact you more. So let's presume at age 75, you got, I mean, I know it's 5 or 6 years away, but okay, so you have $550,000, okay? Let's say that we grew that for 5 or 6 years in a mellow, not crazy portfolio, okay? And so let's say at age 75, you have $600,000. So your required minimum distribution in that first year would be an extra $24,000, okay? Because you're not going to sell these stocks, I presume, at this point, right?
No, because then I'd be hit with the huge capital gains tax.
Yeah. If you're at all charitable, gift some of this stock, by the way. Use the stock to be charitable, please.
I haven't really thought about it yet.
But if you are at all, then think about that. Okay, so the way I look at it is this. You'll be in that first Irma tier probably for a while, for like the next 5, 6, 7 years. I think you should consider taking money out of the traditional IRA and maybe either converting it to a Roth or maybe just taking it and having it to invest, maybe adding it to your brokerage account. What would happen if you took, say, $2,000 or $3,000 a month, or, in one lump sum every year, that kind of money, $30,000 to $36,000 a year. You took that out of the traditional IRA. You paid the tax. You would be in that higher Irma bracket. You absolutely would. But it would be, $80, $87, again, $88 a month. But we'd start getting some of the money out of the IRA. I'm wondering if perhaps the advisor who said take half of the money and put it in an exchange traded fund, and they said, what should you do with the other half? A fixed index annuity? Was that the other piece of it?
And I'm not a fan of those.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I was wondering if maybe they were trying to just do a fixed annuity. I don't think I would work with that third advisor, first of all. I think what you seek is a kind of advisor called a fee-only advisor, okay? That kind of advisor is usually a CFP or a CPA. That kind of advisor cannot take a commission from any product. CFPs can take commissions. They just have to disclose it. And I'm sure that if you said to this advisor, well, how much money do you make on the fixed index annuity? How is it billed? That they are by their rules, their own rules as fiduciaries. They'll have to explain to you how they do that. I agree with you, though. I wouldn't work with that person. I think your game plan should be start pulling money out of your traditional IRA. Try to keep it at a level where if you're looking at your total amount of your dividends, and you'll know this. I mean, maybe the time to do this is the end of the year, because you'll get a sense of what your dividends have been for the year. You'll look at how much money you've earned on, interest and bank accounts, et cetera. And then you pull out the amount of money that will keep you maybe at that first Irma level, which is, again, modified adjusted gross income under $133,000. Although, frankly, I'd go up to the next level if I were you.
Okay.
I just want to get that money out, because that money is going to keep making your life a little miserable. And if you wait, then it's going to be a lot more money. And that money is going to maybe throw you into like the third or fourth tier of the Irma surcharge, So Why not get some of the money out now? But if your question was, hey, Jill, what should I do about this advisor? I keep saying broker because it feels like a very funny brokerage approach to the world. I'm saying you can do this on your own. Do you go to an accountant, the accountant who you don't trust about your cost basis? Do you still see that person?
No. I did my own taxes last year.
Dude, you're an animal. Come on. You can't find a decent accountant in Minnesota?
I suppose I could if I looked hard enough.
I would rather you, honestly, I'd rather you have a good accountant than a CFP right now. And this is a great time of year to look. Don't wait till the very end of the year, and certainly don't wait till March. This is a great time to look and tell somebody, hey, my concern is taxes. I know that I'm going to have a tax situation because of the money in the retirement account. I also know I've got the Irma surcharge. Help me balance it. Come up with a game plan with me. That's what I think you should do.
So where do you think I should look for an accountant? Is there like any type of
don't you have some friends who have accountants? I mean, you could go to the AICPA. Do you have a lawyer, by the way? Do you have a lawyer who did your estate plan?
Yeah, he's in Wisconsin.
Call that dude up and say, help me find somebody here in Minnesota.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Because I do have a revocable trust. I have a will.
Oh, look at you. You're good.
And,
I would look to that person first. Okay. I really would. Get a referral, go find yourself an accountant, and let's manage this income. If you are being pitched some sort of product like Jeff, get in touch with us before you do anything. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the contact us button, let us know what's going on, and we'll talk it through with you. We'll be right back.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show. We are trying to help you make better, sometimes just less bad financial decisions. So often in your life, you're confronted with one of these big moments where you have to make a decision. And maybe you haven't been taught the basics of personal finance, or maybe it's just so emotional that you can't find your way out of it. So let us help you. Just go to the website, JillOnMoney.com, and click the Contact Us button. While you're there, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter and check out our 2 other shows. We've got 2 podcasts. One is called Jill on Money, which we air Monday through Friday, and the other one is called Money Watch. All there right on the website. Right now, let's get to an email. This one is from Michael. He says, it's my second time writing. Our feedback that we gave him in April of last year was helpful. And so he says, I listen every single day. Thank you for that, Michael. Okay, I'm 54 years old, and my father passed away when he was 95 and a half, and my mother actually passed away in February of 2023. It's a lot over the last 2 years. With my father's passing away this past February, he did have everything set up in a trust. My sisters and I both received generous distributions last month of approximately $428,000. So the trust distributed this to Michael and his sisters. He's got no debt besides a mortgage at a 2% rate. Okay, so he said, I deposited my share, this $428,000, into 2 high-yield savings accounts, earning 4% for the time being. My question is, what should I do with these funds from an investment perspective to help grow them while also reducing the chance of loss? Isn't that everybody's hope? I just want upside, no downside. Question, should I dollar cost average into a few funds? Should I wait a bit until the market begins to dip? Tell me when that's going to be, man. I would feel horrible losing a portion of this inheritance. I really want to be careful, but I want to maximize my earnings. Okay, so here's the financial picture. Right now, including that inheritance, $700,000 in cash, $24,000 in brokerage. In traditional retirement assets, $1.9 million. Roth assets, $383,000. HSA, $11,000. There's about almost $100,000 in company stock. He's got this condo, and he said he's got annual income, $250,000. I feel pretty good, stable for my cash position. I've got a lot of cash to hold me over even if I were to lose my job. I'm just not accustomed to receiving such a large amount of money. Okay, so here's the thing. From the way you describe this, I can tell you and prove to you that putting all of your money to work immediately as one lump sum is probably a better mathematical decision. However, I'm not going to tell you to do that. I think that you should find a game plan that you can stick to get that money invested doing dollar cost averaging. A little bit in a bunch of funds, maybe 3 or 4 different funds in that brokerage account on a monthly basis. But it has to be an amount that you can really feel like you can stick to it. And I don't know what that amount is. It sounds to me like you're much more concerned with downside than upside. So maybe you would do $25,000 a month, or maybe you do $50,000 a month until you've got that $428,000 that is invested. If you want to keep that extra money beyond the $400 in cash, just know that you're probably going to be earning less than that 4% over the next bunch of years. If you want to get some of that money invested also, fine. Just leave yourself, a good 2-year runway in case you did lose your job. But I do think that having awareness of what you could really hang on to in terms of your dad's money, I want you to understand that if you were to put this all into the markets at one time, you probably would have some horrible wipeout. But I also want to say that even if you do dollar cost averaging, there'll be some wipeout, and it is going to freak you out.
He should know the deal, because prior to this inheritance, he has almost $3 million. So he knows there's ups and there's downs.
Yeah, but that's retirement money. And this is all of a sudden laden with the whole inheritance, honor my father, I can't screw this up. It's okay. You're going to be okay. Dollar cost average, pick an amount you can stick to. I kind of would probably do $50,000 a month. What about you, Mark? Would you do more or less?
Me, I would do more.
Yeah.
But that's me. Whatever makes him comfortable.
Whatever is comfortable. Get it invested as quickly as possible, and don't futz around with it. Okay, John says, "Hi, Jill. I love listening to your show. My wife and I are both 65. We live in Minnesota. We don't make a lot of money, but we did have a decent living. I quit my main job. I took a less stressful job 4 years ago. We both still work full-time, but we are planning on retiring at the end of this year. Combined, we earn $80,000, and we also plan to work part-time, but only making the allowable income. I think maybe that's interesting. I think it's because they're claiming their Social Security early, which I'm not sure why they're going to do, but let's just keep going. Wife would take her Social Security, I guess, at 65 or 66, $1,500. She gets a little bit of money in a pension. He says, so she was going to take it early. They have an advisor, and the advisor said, don't take his Social Security benefit until 67, his full retirement age, and that would be $2,600 a month. I plan on working part-time, earning about $22,000 a year, and fill the gap with our 401k money. We've got $230,000 in 401ks. Our monthly expenses are around $4,000. It doesn't include any funny money. We're not travelers. We do take 2 weeks in the winter, but we stay stateside. I know there's a lot more to it. Our house is paid for. Small equity loan will be paid off soon. Otherwise, no debt. What do you think? Sounds good. I'm not sure why your wife is taking her Social Security early. I'm not sure I would do that. Is she in bad health? Maybe that's why. I don't know. But if each of you has decent life expectancy, just wait till you're both 67. It's fine. And you can pull the money out of your 401k, and she'll have a higher benefit then. Her benefit is more than half of yours. So I think it's worth it for her to maybe wait. So run that by your financial advisor. Otherwise, looks like a decent plan. To me, at least. So far, so good. If you have something that's going on in your life and it remotely touches a dollar bill, then get in touch with us. You don't have to do it alone. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us a note, and if you'd like to join us live, check the box. Mark will do everything else. You're listening to Jill on Money.
Welcome back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger takes the mystery out of your finances.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, where we are trying to help you navigate your financial journey. And each of us has a very different journey. Maybe you're one of those people who mid-career wants to tack in a different direction. Maybe you're worried about your business or your industry consolidating. I'm in media. I know how that feels. Maybe there is something else going on. Maybe you're buying a house, selling a house. Whatever it is, we would love to help you out. All you need to do is go to our website, JillOnMoney.com. I know you've probably bookmarked it, but just in case you haven't, it's JillOnMoney.com. Click the Contact Us button. It's in the upper right-hand corner wherever you navigate on the site, and write us your note. Remember, all of our content lives on that website, including our subscription service, which is called Jill on Money Live. That's where you have access to quarterly live webinars. We just had a great one on estate planning, the entire back catalog of those webinars, and bonus audio and video content. It's all for $45 for the next 12 months. So check that out. It's Jill on Money Live. Next up, an email from Marie. Marie writes, I'm 62 years old. The only debt that she has is a $652,000 family mortgage, of which I pay half. I work, I make six figures, but I also have, you ready for this, Mark? $89,000 in student loan debt. She's 62 years old. It's currently in the Biden Save program. It's accruing interest starting now, as a matter of fact, August 1st. The Save plan is going away next summer, so I can do another consolidation and be grandfathered into a lower payment plan and work to pay off the higher interest rate first and work my way down until it's all paid off. I figure it should take me about a year without any emergencies. Here's the dilemma. I had medical bills I've had to pay off, which depleted most of my savings. Do I use what little I have left of my savings to pay off my student loans, or do I make minimum payments until I die, or do I take out a simple interest personal loan for $89,000? The compound interest has exploded my student loans. 6 years of college and all these years, you can imagine the interest. I only have a 3-month emergency fund. What is the plan of attack? I would not actually blow through my emergency fund. Here's what I would do. You still work, you make six figures. Drop your contribution. If you're making any contributions to retirement plans, drop that down to the minimum to get your match. That's it. Then the family mortgage, this is, I think, because of a divorce. Do you own the home, or is there something separate? Just like the previous question, would it be possible to leverage some part of this house that you could maybe help pay off some of the loans? In general, I think that it is a bad idea to have zero savings if you're in your 60s, so I wouldn't do that. I'd like to hear more from you. The plan of attack for me would be no using up all of the money that you have in the 3-month emergency fund. Try to keep building that up, minimize the amount of money you put into retirement, and keep whittling it away. It's going to be tough. Okay. Here's a question from Antonio, who writes, first, hi, Jill and Mark. Love the show. Nice mix of information and entertainment. Keep it up. I'm so entertaining. Antonio writes, my question is about retirement. I am 55. My wife is 56. She's semi-retired. There's $1.6 million in a 401k, $90,000 in a Roth, $40,000 in a traditional, $40,000 in an HSA, $90,000 in stocks. I expect $2,800 a month from Social Security, $2,150 for my wife. Now, check this out. He has a pension, varying pension amounts based on his age of retirement. So, let's go to say age 62. If he were to do it at 62, he gets $4,300 a month versus, next year where it would be $2,600 a month. They own their home, no mortgage, no other debt. I don't hate my job, but I can see the end in sight and would like to know how close I am to being able to retire and spend, ready for the number, Mark? $10,000 a month. So think about this, gang. He wants to spend $10,000 a month. We know the best idea here. Come on, we all understand this. There's going to be $5,000 in Social Security and we know that if he waits till age 62, he gets $4,300 a month in pension. That's pretty close to the $10,000. Plus, they've got this $1.6 million. That's good. That to me is the obvious way to manage this. I guess the question is, Mark, what would happen, when someone says, I like my job, but I see the light at the end of the tunnel? Like, does that mean we should really look at that middle scenario where if he works for a few more years, he gets $3,200? What would you think about that, Mark, if he chose to retire at his age, 58, knowing they have that Social Security coming and this pension amount? What do you think about 10 grand a month on that total?
Probably doable, not a slam dunk. I'm not sure the Social Security estimates that he provided. I don't know which age those are based on.
Right, I don't either.
I have a feeling it's taking it early.
And we don't want that.
10 grand a month, it's not a slam dunk.
No, it's a real number. So I'd love for you to get back in touch with us, meaning maybe we can do this. Maybe it's age 60 and we come up with a scenario where you're pulling some money out at age 60. You delay, you don't pull the trigger on the pension. Maybe you start pulling money out of that pre-tax account. Maybe we wait till you grab your Social Security. Maybe we can make it work. But I don't think it's a 58. I think it's either 60 or 62. And I'd love to hear back from you. Come on the program. We would be happy to look at this with you. If you need a little assistance in making a financial decision, get in touch with us. Go to JillOnMoney.com. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, and we are here answering your financial questions. If you have one, just go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us a note, and if you'd like to join us live, check the box, and we will get you on the air live. While you're on the website, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. It comes out every Friday, and that will also get you some of the blog posts that I put up on Substack, so kind of cool. Here is a question from Christine, which I think is going to resonate with many of you. Christine writes, I've taken your advice and have bought the S&P 500 index fund through Vanguard. I also hear you advise some callers to have money in a bond fund, but I haven't heard any recommendations for a specific bond exchange traded fund or mutual fund, and I would really appreciate your thoughts because frankly, they all look like, this is the quote, bland stinkers to me. I love that, bland stinkers. Thank you for all that you do to help us be smarter about our money. Well, Christine, you're right. Bond funds are supposed to be bland, and certainly compared with an S&P 500 index, and you own the Vanguard ETF, the VOO index, it's going to look like a much lower performing asset. So let's compare this. The S&P 500 exchange traded fund at Vanguard has averaged around 14% annualized return over the last 10 years. Now compare that with the Vanguard Total Bond Market Index, BND, and you look at that 10-year and it's like 2%. So why would you do it? Because you want to smooth out the volatility of the stock position. That's really the whole point of diversification. So you have to be willing to accept that, because otherwise being on the ride of just owning stocks can really feel daunting when the market moves against you. I hope that helps. And certainly if you have more questions or anyone has questions about bonds, get in touch with us. Well, that's it. That's the show. Our music is composed by Joel Goodman. Mark Talercio is our executive producer, and Webb King. Try to lift someone up, change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.